Good morning, everybody. Pastor Stitch, Narrow Path Christian Church, BC, Bay City, Michigan, also the North Central Chaplain for Broken Chains, JC. Welcome to the Biker Devotional. Today is September 20th, 2025, and we are looking at Proverbs, yes, you guessed it, chapter 20. Proverbs 20, verse 5. As you will recall, if you've been listening at all this month, we are looking at what Solomon teaches about what discipline is. Today in verse 5 we read this: Counsel in a man's heart is deep water, but a man of understanding draws it out. You know, so many times in our lives we had the opportunity to gain knowledge, understanding, wisdom, and discipline from individuals that have far more experience than us. And the problem with that is we're only going to get it in one of two ways. Out of a necessity, an abundance of necessity, it's going to come out in harsh correction, or it could come out as an offering of insight that more often than not, you and I might just think, oh, I don't need to know that. That's just stuff that I don't necessarily need to know. Solomon reminds us that discipline requires us to ask the right questions and listen to the people with the right answers. You know, I was reading a story on Facebook this morning, and I don't normally open Facebook before I read my Bible. It just happened that my computer made a noise, and I opened it up, and there's this story about this man who decides to cut down a tree on his property line. It's not really his to cut down, but he's tired of it blocking the sun for his pool, and it's dumping leaves in his pool, and so he cuts it down. The neighbor comes out while he's cutting it down, and neighbor says to him, you really, besides the fact that this is my tree and it holds tremendous memories for me because this was my mom and dad's house, and I grew up with that tree. That tree is absolutely critical for the stability of the soil around here. Long story short, months later, the tree's down, it's cut down, the roots are deteriorating, it's raining, and the whole hill comes crashing down because the roots of that tree was what was holding that hill together, and devastates the neighbor. The neighbor says, you work as a geologist. You could have warned me about this. And the person said, I did. And you didn't want to hear it. Sometimes discipline is actually asking the right questions and listening to the right answers. It's amazing to me that I've never noticed it before, and I'm guessing neither have you, that discipline requires your active participation in it for it to be effective. Solomon gave us this understanding in Proverbs chapter 20, verse 5 today. Counsel in a man's heart is deep water, but a man of understanding draws it out. Don't be afraid to ask questions, and make sure you listen to those that have the insight, the age, the opportunity to share something that you might need to know. Don't be afraid to have a conversation with an OG and say, hey, I don't understand why we do things this way. And then listen to the whole story, because you may feel like, just get to the point, old man. And the reality is, the whole story is the point. And without the whole story, you'll never understand the point and you'll reject it. Discipline requires an active participation on your part. new lesson for me today. Hopefully a good one for you. I love y'all. Hope you have a great day. God bless.